Do you have a job interview coming up next week and you're curious about what questions they're going to ask you? Now, I've actually had candidates ask me for the interview questions in advance of the interview. That, as a career coach, is not something that I recommend. It kind of gave me the ick. It's a little bit bold. And if they had given me a reason, like it's a part of an accommodation that they need, then I totally would have understood. But they did not give me that caveat. They just wanted to know the interview questions in advance. And so I gave them the interview questions in advance, but I definitely would not recommend that people do that. So then how do you find out what questions you're going to be asked on an interview? There are a number of strategies that I teach in my coaching program with my clients in order to determine what questions they're going to be asked on the interview. Now, here's something wild. I met with a client recently who didn't know that you could find out what questions would likely be asked in your job interview, and that there are actual strategies that you can use to prepare your answers in advance. Now, I actually had another client share with me when I told them that we could prepare their answers in advance for these commonly asked interview questions. And this client said to me that they actually did not want to prepare their answers in advance because they didn't want to sound rehearsed. So as a career coach, I am actually quite expert in working with different personality types. And what that means is I have to cut through how someone is saying what they're saying and actually listen to what they're saying. And so in the case of this person who said that they did not want to rehearse their interview answers in advance of the interview because they didn't want to sound rehearsed, what this person was actually saying to me was that they did not want to come across as disingenuous. So if you are also in that same line of thought, that you do not want to sound disingenuous, so you do not want to rehearse in advance the answers to commonly asked interview questions, what I would offer to you is to say preparing answers to commonly asked interview questions is actually the biggest sign that you are genuinely interested in that role and genuinely interested in working for that organization. Okay, so where do we go from here? You know you have an interview coming up next week. You are interested in finding out what questions they're going to ask you so that you don't have to be nervous and you know what to expect. Please book in my link a 90-minute transformation call so we can prepare you for this interview so that you can knock it out of the park, girl.